approximately 44 people, more than 70 persons injured, approximately 250 people arrested, and extensive damage and destruction to property. Earlier this year, lawyers representing dead miners' families, miners wounded and arrested miners pulled out of the commission due to lack of funding and brought an urgent application to the High Court in Pretoria for the state to fund their legal representation. The application was dismissed. The application for leave to appeal was also dismissed by the Constitutional Court, stating that the court was not well equipped to deal with urgent matters in general. This month, the High Court in Johannesburg ruled that the miners who survived the Marikana shooting last year and the families of those who died must receive legal funding from the state for the Farlam inquiry. According to the Legal Aid SA, they will need 17 million rand to honor the court judgment ordering it to provide legal representation for the miners injured and arrested at Marikana.
All right, now, as you've just seen from our short insert there, some unanswered questions and the latest developments in the court ordering the Legal Aid SA to pay the fees of the legal team representing the Marikana miners' families. We have a Legal Aid SA representative in studio with us to thrash some of these. Now, welcome, Mpho Phasha. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you. Thank you.
What has been the progress since the court ruling which says that you should fund the lawyers for the Marikana miners?
Well, there has been some progress in terms of meeting with the affected parties and the legal team last week, but I don't have the latest development with regards to what happened in that meeting. But I must put in record that, Leanne, this is concerning decision from the judge for allowing that to happen, for us to, as Legal Aid, to be funding Marikana. We really have a tight budget, and that will mean that if we do continue to fund Marikana, it will mean that many poor South Africans will actually be denied legal access in terms of criminal and civil matters. And our mandate clearly states that we are not there to fund commission. We are there to represent poor South Africans who need legal aid. So it's a concerning judgment for us.
I know that there are negotiations regarding the fees that are currently underway for the lawyers that represent the miners. What's happening there? Have they lowered the fees? Is that something on the cards?
Well, it's something that it's been discussed. Like I said, I didn't get any update with regards to the last meeting that happened. It's something obviously that will be discussed with regards to fees. But you know, legal aid, it's guided by the legal aid guide in terms of tariffs. So we've got specific tariffs with regards to how we pay our legal attorneys. They differ, and they ranges from anything from 2,000 up to a maximum amount that the legal aid guide actually specify in terms of how to pay them. It will be a burning issue anyway. With regards to funding, we really can't afford as legal aid. South Africa, but we'll look into that and see how we reach a compromise. Yeah. I'm sure the other parties will also look into that and see how best they can come to party with regards to really meeting legal aid halfway in terms of fees.
Let's go back to basics. You touched on it briefly, but let's dig a bit deeper. Who actually qualifies for legal aid? How does it work?
Well, as we are mandated by the Constitution to provide legal aid to those who really can afford, the people who really can access legal aid are people who earn less than 5,500 per month as an individual income. As a household income, it has to be less than 6,500. We've got a means test that we actually use to determine everyone's affordability in terms of the income and assets. And really we look into that. We try to minimize, since I've indicated that we've got limited budget, we try to minimize to just avoid the influx of people coming in and being turned back because of affordability. So that's the crucial part of it. Lower LSM, really lower. We're looking at LSM 1 to 5, really the poor of the poorest, with criminal and in criminal and civil matters. So we represent everybody that goes through the court and really can't afford legal aid.
So what you're explaining to me, as a layman, it sounds like you're describing the miners that are trying to fight the state. So what basically is making this case different to other cases? Why is it that you feel you cannot take this one on?
Because the mandate and the legal aid guide clearly states that we need to represent people really who goes to court, and a commission is not a court. It's really not a court. So that is how we've been standing to say we cannot fund commissions. We can only fund or provide legal aid to people who really need legal aid, and they go
in
through
a court.
In a court of law.
Not in a commission.
Not in a commission.
Yeah.
So I mean, a commission is really nobody can be sent to prison or being found guilty in a commission. A commission is really not a court.
Yeah. So, I mean, this could set a precedent going forward. This court ruling could change the way legal aid actually works. Is this correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Gate flood in terms of commissions, upcoming commissions. But there's been a concern not only for Legal Aid South Africa, but with regards to members of parliament in terms of the Portfolio Committee of Justice and Constitutional Development to say, in future, the executive authority, when they develop these or when they start with these commissions, they should provide funding specifically for this commission. Other than that, it will put a lot of pressure for organizations, state organs like Legal Aid South Africa, because it will mean that people who really deserve legal aid, they will be denied access to justice at the end of the day.
Has this started happening already? I mean,
No.
So you haven't started denying people, I mean, but is this something that is almost inevitable?
Well, we look at other areas in terms of where we need to compromise in making sure that if we do go ahead and fund such a commission, which other areas of our operations will be compromised. There are few which we look at it. We'll either look into reducing the number of cases that go to private lawyers. That's one of them. Going forward, and that will actually just release a bit of budget for us to be able to fund such. But there won't be any people who will be turned away because of this kind of judgment. No ways. I think I still urge people to go through our legal aid offices or to call to find out if they do qualify. They can call our hotline number 0800 110 110 or visit our website where all the information is there in terms of who qualified for legal aid, what is the mandate of legal aid, and where are the nearest offices of everybody to contact us.
All right. Mpho, thank you for coming in and shedding some light on this issue for us. Mpho Phasha is from Legal Aid. Where to from here? What are you going to do?
Well, our board of directors will be meeting to really have a decision about it in terms of funding. As you've indicated, we roughly estimated that we'll need at least 17 million to really maintain the funding of the arrested minors and the injured minors. But we are currently funding the other part of the commission, which is the deceased family. There already been 2 million rand that was allocated to that fund. So it's not that we refused entirely that we won't actually fund. We were looking at what will sustain us going forward because of the limited budget.
So you need a bigger budget now?
We need money.
That's what you're saying. You need more money to do this. All right. Thank you very much for talking to us here on Morning Live. Mpho Phasha, Communications Executive for Legal Aid SA. Let's take a break. We'll see you after this. Stay tuned.
Thank you.